Absolutely. Welcome. There are boards back in the corner in the cupboard. If this is your first time, feel free to grab one and push some tables together. Hi, I'm Vic DePrampero, and the kids call me Mr. Vic. And this is our lead session. It is Chess with Friends. And the reason we call it Chess with Friends is so that people can come in without the feeling of like intimidation, as opposed to like a chess tournament. So some people are like learning, they're emerging players, we'll call them, and some people are pretty darn good in here. With today's generation of kid, I like to see them play face to face, because quite often they're playing on their phones, and there's a whole different element to playing in person. As you can see around the room, we have all kinds of different boards. We have your typical competition boards, and then we have some really nice wooden boards, a couple that are even hand carved, and we even busted out our Shrek chest for today. Some of these kids will join our chess club. Chess club's an extracurricular activity that we do after school. It usually runs from Thanksgiving to Easter is pretty much our season, and we'll meet once a week, and then we usually compete whenever we can arrange it with other schools. Now, as a school district, we have competed and we've won 3 different WPIAL championships in chess. So it's actually the WPICHL, so it's the Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Chess League. So, but we've had a pretty long tradition of competing and doing quite well at Bethel Park. So this lead session is like supposed to be an intro to chess, hopefully to get kids to hang out and interact with one another face to face, and maybe they will grow their love for chess.
Happy weekend.
No, you could have taken his ball.
I was going to, but then I didn't want to lose my horse. I don't want to lose my horse.
At the high school level, it is one of our activities. So you show up whenever the chess club is scheduled. For us this year, we went with Mondays after school. It runs from 2:30 to about 4 o'clock. And as long as you're in high school and you're in good standing and you've paid an activity fee, you are more than welcome to come and play chess with us.
We compete against other schools, such as like Norwin, Upper St. Clair, Peters Township. We actually had Peters Township come here to play. And I really like that chess is just an amazing game that allows people of all skill levels to play and learn the game and have fun. It takes planning ahead and like learning your moves and learning your opponent's moves. It like changed the way that I think about strategy and how stuff in real life work, such as thinking ahead and like planning your next move in real life.
So we're setting up, and it is indeed like kind of like a parlor trick, like we said earlier. This is something that could work theoretically if you had a series of unfortunate moves. In the game of chess, we have a clock here. I don't know if we could start it over, Tan, or not, or we have a 3-minute game set up. It's fine. But if you were moving and you did the wrong course of moves, you can get checkmated pretty quickly. So we'll start with that. In a game of chess, white always goes first. So go ahead, Tan. Now, a typical move to this would be to match his pawns. You want to kind of control the center 4 squares. If you do that, you are generally going to control the board a little better. Now, there are certain defenses that you could do where you move some of your outside pieces, especially this one. And what that does is it'll allow your queen to get involved in the action. What we are going to do, though, is we're going to stick with the center. So Tanner moved his queen out there, and normally you would think that's not particularly a scary thing. Your king's still nice and protected. You have your pawn here blocking it. No big deal. So I am going to just advance my pawn up 1. And then he moved his bishop out. Once again, it doesn't seem to be particularly threatening. So a typical move in chess would be to move your knight out there, and maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm going to trick him, I'll show him. He doesn't even know that my knight could take his queen. So I'm going to move my knight out to there, and then we'll see what Tanner does with that. And then, oh my gosh, now it would be checkmate, and I am done. Now, what this is called an attack in combination. It is when you attack with a piece, and then that piece is supported by another piece. And that is about as quickly as a person could lose a chess game. We do compete. There's not an extra fee to compete, but there is a competition to compete. We usually compete with our top 5 players. Now, because of sports, because a lot of my competition players are athletes, and because of things like the musical, because a lot of my competition players are musicians and are involved in extracurriculars, we have to carry a roster of more than 5. So currently, some of my top 5 are kids who are on the varsity football team and the varsity tennis team and the varsity baseball team, the varsity wrestling team, and of course I have several that are in the marching band and in musical and in chorus. So because of those things, we used to carry a roster of about 10 competitive players.
That's just me.
No, it's.
Yeah.
Is it?
I realized.
Oh,
I moved
yeah,
my
that
pawn.
is
That's
just me.
I realized after I moved my pawn.
Wow.
That's just me.
That would be typical strategies of chess. And in all honesty, the only move that I did wrong in that series of events was probably my second move of moving this piece here. So when you block your king in, things get ugly very quickly.